Well, the Seahawks won their Super Bowl. Yay! So I thought the halftime show was okay. I really didn't like Die With A Smile remix. I think everyone can understand that that remix just doesn't work. If you were deaf, then you would disagree with me otherwise. I didn't understand a single thing in the performance, of course, because it's all in Espanol. And I was kind of a little upset that they didn't include subtitles. I feel like they have enough like money in their budget to have that added. I don't think it's even that expensive. Maybe I might be wrong. I don't know. That's just what I was a bit like, complaining about. But other than that, I thought his performance was amazing. I really liked, or it's not really like my favorite, but the choreography is very limited. But he shows a lot of the Spanish culture, or I don't want to say exactly which, because I think he gathers a lot of symbolism from each country. Like there's these like the sugar plantation as in the introduction, and then there's like these stands, and then apparently there's like a big cultural thing with the plastic chairs. I don't know too much about that, but the reason why I'm talking about the Super Bowl halftime show is because so many people are saying that they didn't like it, and other than the people who say that they didn't like it because they weren't a fan of the music or they just thought the performance was boring, that's fine, whatever, that's your opinion, cool. There are people who are saying that the halftime show was bad because he didn't speak English and that they had a non-American performer for a halftime show, which is very weird because Shakira isn't American, she's Colombian, The Weeknd is Canadian, and Rihanna is from the Barbados, I believe. But no one said anything about that. And of course, they all spoke in English. I don't see how it is a valid opinion to say that it was bad because he didn't speak in English. Oh, so does that mean like K-pop is horrible because it was spoken in Korean? Because the reason why I bring up K-pop, you're probably thinking like, oh, like that's a bit different. So this one is a bit personal to me because when I was growing up in middle school, everyone just like was so ignorant of Koreans. Like they knew there was a North and a South Korea, and they would always ask, "Are you from the North or are you from the South?" Oh, so if you're from the South, you're with Kim Jong Un, and it's like really stupid like ignorance there, right? But then fast forward, K-pop makes a global like debut, and now everyone likes kimchi and kimbap all of a sudden. Even though I used to get bullied for my food being smelly, and I think having Bad Bunny perform at the halftime show is pretty powerful because I think this opens up doors for foreign artists to set more of a global presence. Not saying that Bad Bunny isn't big. I'm pretty sure he is still a big artist. I don't know if he's like big global wise. He recently won a Grammy, and that's like apparently huge news. So I'm assuming he's not like really up there with some of the like greats in terms of like ranking wise or whatever, or like popularity, I mean. And kind of to reinforce why I brought up K-pop and my bullying story and all that, is I think people can be very ignorant of Spanish culture. I feel like, and I might be wrong, but when I think of Latinas, I don't really think of like the dancing that they're known for, or quinceañeras or whatever. All I can think of are people just saying big booty Latinas, or the Latinas are just so bad. But then other than that, I don't hear anything beyond it. Like I don't think people, or at least like Americans, understand Spanish culture. Sorry, I have a stomach ache all of a sudden. I don't know why, but I think having Bad Bunny performing could open in our eyes or people's eyes to the culture, and learn to appreciate it, as there will be more room for people to learn about it and really know that there's more than just big booty Latinas or and I that's what I think. That's why I bring up my whole like K-pop like analogy thing. I don't like talking about political stuff, even though I posted some of those on my reels, but Donald Trump here said, "The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense, is an affront, or basically offense, to the greatness of America, and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence," and yada yada yada. I think that's a lot of baloney. If anything, this isn't supposed to offend the greatness of America. How is it having a non-American performer in America's one of America's biggest games performing an offense? If anything, this is something that we should welcome. I remember the Statue of Liberty signifying to be open to immigration, that America is a country for everyone. But it seems like that's not the case here with Bad Bunny performing in the Super Bowl. Other than people saying that the dancing is disgusting, which I can see why that's an issue. I'm not too, like, supportive of that either, considering there was a kid in the show in which Bad Bunny gives the Grammy to. But that's like a different take, really. It's they do this all the time. You have Beyonce having some not too much nude, or you have like the 50 Cent Snoop Dogg halftime show, and then a bunch of girls are just twerking while 50 Cent is like hanging his big butt like from the the bar. I don't see why this is. I just think this is just very offensive in general to anyone who is Puerto Rican or anyone of Hispanic or Latin origin. It's awesome. I think it's great. I am still waiting for a K-pop halftime show, but that's not something that I really look forward to. Like, I think it'd be cool, but I think this is still cool that, if Bad Bunny can be a halftime performer, anyone can be a halftime performer. You don't have to be like an American citizen. You don't have to be just speaking exclusively in English. I think that's just stupid. America is not just English. America is not just American citizen or like white people. I think that's just really ridiculous. Of course, this is a personal rant on my end because this is, because as someone who is not white, I am a documented American citizen, but I am still Korean, and I try to embrace that part of me, even though I remember a time when I tried to reject it when everyone rejected me. But there's really nothing much to say. That's all I want to say. So that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.